Howdy everyone, this is LockNutz, and you're watching a map tour of New Bartelshagen. Hopefully you'll stick around to see what happens. Howdy, 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 how are you guys doing today? Oh my goodness, I tell you what, today we get to do a map tour of New Bartelshagen 2022. Oof, I tell you what, good stuff, good stuff. Now this map is 116.66 megabytes to download, and it is for PC only. Well, PC and Mac only. It is by, and I do apologize right now if I get this wrong, AtzeVR. AtzeVR, as in virtual reality. I don't know if that's what it stands for, but that's what I'm thinking it looks like. Oh man, so let's go ahead and take a look real quick what it has for a description in ModHub. Welcome to New Bartelshagen 2022, a small town on the Grabower Bodden. All standard functions of LS22 or FS22 are installed. There are 16 fields: horse pasture, pigsty, livestock trade, a multi-fruit silo, 2 courtyards, a BGA, sawmill, restaurant, carpentry, oil mill, grain mill, and spinning mill. Ooh, all right. So we are looking at a lot of stuff on this map. Now, one thing I will let you guys know right now is that I have started this off in new farmer mode. That way you guys know what you will get if you decide to start off in new farmer mode. So let's go ahead and look at the equipment first that you'd be starting off with. And I want to point out that no matter what mode you start off in, from new farmer mode, farm manager mode, or start from scratch, you will start with this equipment all the time. So no matter what mode, you go ahead and do this. If you want to do a real start from scratch sort of setup, come in here, get rid of all your equipment, sell it off. I mean, that's about all you can do at this point. Starting off with medium tractors, you get yourself a beautiful John Deere. Harvesters, a great John Deere harvester, and that John Deere harvester comes with 1 grain header and also a AtzeVR trailer. Don't let that bother you. This does work. I've tested it out. It works just fine. You get yourself a beautiful 1986 pickup truck, red. You get yourself a Welger trailer, a Arabi or Rab cultivator, sorry about that. You get yourself 1 Nordstein seeder, and you get yourself a pair of weights. So that's what you got going on that way. Like I said, you do get that for all modes, so it's just so you're aware of what's going on. Now, when it comes to land that you have, you actually start off with not quite a bit. It's going to look like a lot, but it really is not. And one thing to note is that when you start off in new farmer mode, you do start off with $100,000 cash. Farm manager mode, you start off with $1.5 million, and start from scratch, you start off with $500,000, but you have $200,000 in debt, so you really have about $300,000 of liquid assets. Now, again, remember, on top of that cash, you get all the vehicles. But one thing that you do not get on any other game mode is farmland. Like I said, it looks like a lot of land right here, but I can't do that right now. It is this chunk of land up here, this, and this. So you have all of that together right there, and it has a nice little value of about $250,000. You do start off with 1 farm field up here, field 12, and it does have a little bit of forestry up there, so you can knock down some trees. Now, as you guys can see, there are a handful of large fields here. You range from, I think it's field 5 right here is your largest field. Yeah, 1.3, 1.1, 1.5 million for this little bad mamma jamma. Oh my goodness, get yourself a lawn chair if you're going to be mowing on that one. And then you do range down all the way to field 14. This is the smallest numbered field that there is available for you here, and that is $13,702. It's not the cheapest plot on the map, though. The cheapest plot on the map is this little sliver over here, which we'll look at in a little bit, of $13,530. So, yeah, that is the cheapest plot of land on the map. That's the cheapest field that is available. There's also this guy right here, which isn't too expensive either. These are like 2 start from scratch farm locations. We'll go ahead and take a look at these in just a little bit. But this is kind of like your main farm setup, and we'll look at everything here in just a second. But you do have varying field prices. You got some that are expensive, but the way things are here, we'll take a look at contracts in a little bit. A couple contracts on one of these big fields here, and you'll be able to purchase one of these plots of land relatively easy. And we work ourselves up to $500,000, and you just kind of bounce around all over the place. And there is one dedicated forestry area, and it is this area up here for $300,000. So kind of keep that in mind. Now this area up here you cannot buy, but up here you have a couple little things going on. You have a BGA, you have a spinnery, and you have a grain mill. And this particular BGA is worth $475. When we get to a point, we're going to go ahead and buy that here in just a second so that you can go ahead and see what is going on, what you can get, what can you take to the BGA, see if there's anything special. We have an animal dealer up here. Animal dealer. This is another little animal dealer. I think this might be the selling point that's up there. You have yourself the sawmill. Obviously, this is where you can go ahead and do your selling, and then the production side of things are right there. Up here on this little plot of land that you have an electric charging station, and you have a silo. We'll be taking a look at that a little later on. You also have an oil mill on this map, carpentry. I mean, you pretty much have everything that's available here. You also, on one of your chunks of land, because that is part of your farmland. No, it is not part of your farmland. Well, you can go ahead and buy that if you want for $42,000, which we'll go ahead and buy real quick. But this plot of land, it has a seed selling point right there. On your main farm, though, you do have a pigsty, you got a house for a save point, and you have a horse pasture. Now, coming over here to animals, you own those things, but you do not have any animals as of yet. Contracts are on this map, and like I said, field 365,000, you get 2 of those, and you can buy one of those other fields. You're going to be able to make cash really, really quick on this map, especially through contracts. So after that, let's come on here. I'm not seeing, I took a little look at this earlier, there are not any specialty items on here, specialty crops. It's all the standard that's available to you. And again, when you start off in new farmer mode, you do get yourself a little bit of a supply right here. As you can see, you have little bits and pieces all over the place of various items here. So yeah, just kind of keep your eye open if you want that. Again, if you don't want it, you can go ahead and sell that right off the bat. And I think what we'll go ahead and do really quick is we will hop up here to the BGA. No, we want to visit that. And we will go ahead and purchase the VGA to see what we got for different functions on here for selling. So, there we go. It does look like you do just have the silage, slurry, manure, sugar beets, all that stuff is still accepted here. It does appear that silage, like most of the time, does give you the best bang for your buck and everything, so just to kind of keep your eyes peeled on that. Pricing wise, let's see the BGA. Let's take a look down here at, there we go, right here. Manure, only way it's looking like you can sell manure is, or I should say manure or slurry, is by getting the BGA, so you got that going for you. Silage wise, it's not bad. It's right on par with the animal dealer. Obviously, the best thing about taking it to the BGA when you own it, you can take the digestate and fertilize your fields. Essentially, you're getting paid to fertilize your fields, so that's pretty darn neat. Now, at this point, let's go back to the main farm and see what's going on here. All right, so like I said, this is our truck right here, our red Bad Man Pajama. Let's get this out of the garage here really quick. And this is where you guys met me. You got your farmhouse right up over here. You got your nice little shed off to the side. And this is what you guys were seeing me do right at the very beginning. They had like a nice little bowling setup. As you can see, they have collectibles on here. Let's see how much are these collectibles worth. Come on. There we go. They're $1,000 a piece, and let's see how many collectibles there are available on this map. There are 20 collectibles on this map, so you're only going to be able to get 20,000 extra dollars if you're getting all these collectibles. So at this point, guys, here we're going to go like this. We're going to hop in our truck. We're going to go ahead and take a little ride around. One of the things that I am going to go ahead and do is keep the map up in the corner of the screen. That way you guys know where I'm at on the map and you can kind of follow along with me. And the general route that we're going to end up taking a look at is we're going to kind of swing back out here and drive up here. Now, again, you got that going on. Oh, I take that back. I'm sorry. We're going to head up to this farm location up here where we have our stuff and then kind of cut ourselves across there. And yes, I did say it. We are going to cut across there. One of the things that I do like to do when I'm doing my map tours is I really enjoy going around and looking at the fields, driving through the fields to see what the lay of the land really looks like. I could go around and show you every last one of the sell points that are available for you, but that's not going to help you when it comes to farming. So I really like to go ahead and take drives across the field. I know it bothers people because I'm not using the roads, but I really do enjoy doing that to kind of show you a ground eye view of what you're actually going to be getting yourself into when you do get yourself farming. So here we are coming up onto the farm. And now I did do a couple things right here. Now this is kind of neat. You come across here. This is your sell point or your purchase point. Items will appear right over here. You go ahead and do a reset on any of your vehicles. They appear right over here. So that's pretty darn slick. You got yourself a lime purchase point right in there. And let's hop on here like this. Turn that guy off. I'm sorry. I can't stand listening to that. You got this little repair thing in here. Because right in here is where you can go ahead and repair your stuff. Hot dog. It's a pretty darn slick setup. I'll be honest with you guys. When I first came on this map and was looking around, I was a little caught off guard by this custom texture. Should close that one. Little custom texture that we have down here where they got like these concrete slabs laying on the ground. But I kind of like them. I kind of like them. You're unique to everything that you're used to seeing. There we go. Nice lighting in here. They're unique to what you're seeing. You don't normally get to see stuff like this, so it's kind of nice to have these little bits and pieces for textures. And as you can see, just by what you're looking at right here, you have ample amount of storage space here. If you do decide to get that main farm, I mean, it's just cavernous. Honestly, you take a look at this, you're never going to have to get this stuff ever again. And I believe this is your seed sell point right here. I should say, I'm sorry, your seed purchase point. No, fertilizer purchase point. Seed is down here. Or herbicides right there. Is there a seed? Am I just imagining things? I might be imagining things. But you do have all these purchase points right here for being able to get your seed. I got to turn some lights on. I didn't know that's how that worked. All right. Let's take a look at that right here. Sorry, button smashing. All right, yeah, so you'll be able to fill up all your fertilizers and whatnot right in there. And, you know, honestly, this is kind of neat. You don't have to get to a light switch anywhere in this building. You can just walk in here and turn the lights on and off. That's kind of nice. I'm kind of liking that. And then as you continue on down over here, guys, it's the exact same thing. You have storage for days here. Absolute days. All right. It's just, like I said, you buy this farm, you got a place for everything, and everything will have a place. It's absolutely fabulous. Especially if you really want to jump in and get yourself going and really dive into the farming experience right off the bat. Get yourself going. You got big fields. Big fields usually require having a lot of equipment. Not always, but usually. Okay, so like I said, now we're going to start working our way up to the top corner of the map. And so far what I'm seeing here, if that's your shop point right there, the roads, I haven't seen any traffic yet. It appears the roads are actually not too bad. And, yeah, I mean, it's all relatively flat so far. Not much for undulations or anything like that. I'm sorry about that, guys. Rosie the farm dog was just really getting into this map tour, and she needed to go tell someone else, so I do apologize about that. As we continue on, though, as you can kind of see, I mean, this is just super, super flat land going all over this place, so horsepower requirements, it's looking like they aren't going to matter. Pretty much whatever the heck it is that you want to be able to go ahead and use out here in the fields, you can go ahead and use. You're really not going to have to up horsepower for anything at all. So that's just one thing to keep in mind when you're rocking and rolling out here. Now, up here in the corner here is the BGA. It does appear that they do have a charging... That's just air. I thought it might have been a charging station. They do have two large silo bunkers, and I'll show you. See, you walk in here, it does say chaff up in the corner there and compacting. So you do have two large bunker silos right on up over there to do all your bits and pieces in your work, and you probably fit just a ton of stuff in there. Again, we come over here by the BGA. You take a look at it. It's a standard BGA, but like I said, you can go ahead and do stuff at the BGA. You can sell your stuff wherever you want. But like I take a look at things as anytime you can get paid to do the stuff you already have to do, that's well worth it. And essentially you're getting paid to use the BGA, or I should say fertilize your field. So we have the animal dealer up here in the corner. And I am going to probably break somebody's heart by coming up over this way. I do apologize. Right over here is where you got the grain mill and the spinnery up in this area as well. We're going to go ahead and we're going to drive through this area because if you remember, when you go ahead and start off... Oh, that's right. There we go. Once you start off, this area right over here is land that you can go ahead and cut trees down on. So it'll give us an opportunity to kind of see how densely populated the trees are in this area. Not too much. There's not bad. I mean, you could easily make quite a bit of cash off of this. Yeah, you could probably make a decent little bit amount of cash. Worst case scenario, you can go ahead and cut these trees down and sell them for, you know, whatever the heck you want, and then go ahead and expand the fields on out. So it's just kind of an idea. You don't have to do it. If you go ahead and you want to take and knock this stuff down, cut it down, you may have to do a little terraforming right there. It looks like there's a dip. Kind of the same thing with what's going on over here. You can cut these trees down and just make this into one nice field, or you can kind of leave it wide open. It's entirely up to you. Alright, so we got a nice little stream we can go ahead and cross, and now we're going on to land that's not necessarily yours, but like the other field, it's completely untouched. And now heading off over this way, we'll be able to go ahead and take a look at the designated forestry area that's coming on up over here. And it's kind of around this little spot right here, which we have I think this is a manure pit. Yeah, I think this is manure pit right in here. So let's go like this. Can we go ahead and buy stuff here on full card? No, it won't let me even buy anything. But I believe that's where you can go ahead and buy or sell manure, whatever it is that you want to go about doing. Let's head on over this way here. And again, they got these neat little concrete slabs that are out here, kind of using them as roads. It's a neat little concept. It's kind of cool. And we're up here at the sawmill area. And obviously having the sawmill area right next to your forestry is pretty darn slick, very convenient. And this right over here is essentially where the forestry area begins. Again, not a lot of really big trees. I don't think you're going to get rich off of this, to be 100% honest with you, but it's flat ground, so you're not going to have to work that hard. And if you think about it, you can go ahead and cut all these trees down. Because it's flat land, you can get a planter out here really, really easy to go ahead and replant all this stuff and get it back and ready to harvest again in 2 years, I believe it is, for the majority of the trees. So kind of keep that in mind. Now let's go ahead and take a quick little stop up over here at that little area that I was telling you about before that has the charging station and the silo. So you got the silo, and I accidentally forgot to close these. What was I thinking? Again, up in this area, you have a lot of storage. You got your little charging station right here. Now, again, this is one of those areas that is included in with the main farm, so I don't know. Me personally, I'd like to see that get separated at some point, because this easily could be off by itself. You could run your own little farm from right there, but it is what it is. Not my call. Other than that, it's looking pretty darn slick as we continue on. Now, I want to go ahead and make a special point here to drive over to that little area, those little slivers of land that I was showing you before at the very beginning. Very, very neat little areas. I had to take a look at it to see what was going on because it wasn't making much sense to me. After I got over there, it was super, super cool. So I believe this here is your oil factory, and let's see, we have your carpentry. So it's kind of nice they have these little areas like this where they, there's a vehicle. It's neat that they have these little areas that are kind of clustered together off to the side. All right. There we go. Sorry I had to witness that. Oh, I like the little pockets is what I'm trying to say. There's these little pockets where they have stuff off to the side. And again, for most of these areas here on the map, if you go ahead and buy some of these fields out along the outside, you are going to end up being able to purchase the trees on the outside as well. Or that land is yours, I should say. So kind of keep your eyes open for that if you decide that that's what you want to go about doing. Now, here we are over by one of the two areas. Now, I'm going to go like this to show you where we're at again. Just so you're aware, there are two plots of land over here. There's one for $23,000 and there's another one for $13,000. We're sitting on the one for $13,000 right here. This is that plot of land. It only goes over so far. It doesn't take up this whole thing. It only goes over so far. But it gives you a nice little starting point if you want to get yourself a little farm started, rocking and rolling, all that jazz. It's kind of neat. It even gives you a place if you want to put down a house in here. And we'll even go like this to demonstrate like the size of a house that you can go ahead and throw down in here. All right, let's get this thing moved right here. Now, obviously, what's going on here? This size house is going to be very hard for you to squeeze in there and make it look legit. So that might not be not a good idea. But this guy right here, you can easily go ahead and place that guy down right there with no troubles whatsoever. And now you just bought yourself a nice little strip of land. The other one is right down on over here, right next to this little village area they got here. And I like this plot personally a little bit better because it gives you just a little bit more of an option. Now, you start with a house here. You don't, obviously is no sleep trigger on it, so that's one thing you want to keep your eyes open for. But you do have this little chunk of land back over here, so maybe if you want to mow your yard or whatever, that's kind of neat, I guess. But coming through the gates, this is where gets interesting for me, where I get excited about this. You have from the tree line over to the tree line there, that's all part of this right here. So you could get yourself set up with a nice little shop area right here, or farm area, farmyard, whatever you want to call it. And it actually end up looking pretty darn slick back here. Just a neat little feature. It might get overlooked if you're just ready to rock and roll. But this may be a little spot for you to start off if you really truly don't want to play with like that starting farm. It's a slick little area back over here. So let's get back into our truck and continue on. We're gonna go down to the very south portion of the map, or the bottom portion of the map, and at that point, once we get down over there, we're gonna fly up in the air with our Mary Poppins powers and take a look at this map from an aerial view. Now, as I said before, guys, even in town here, the roads they're not bad. Width-wise, they're not bad. You can easily kind of get yourself to navigate around the town here if you got to get from point A to point B. So that is definitely an option for you. And it's flat. There's very few undulations in the map. There's very few obstacles that you're really going to run into. I mean, this is probably the biggest obstacle you're going to get where you have to run into here. And you're probably going to be able to fit pretty much everything through that opening. Maybe not one of those brand new headers that's like 60 feet wide or 60 meters wide, whatever the heck it is, but that's what you got going on right there. And last but not least, we come on down over here and you get yourself some nice lakefront access. Hop in your boat, go fishing, go on a day cruise, whatever you'd like. But guys, give me just a second. I'm going to put on my Mary Poppins hat and we can go for a little ride. Alright guys, I'm all ready to go. Open up the umbrella and here we go. Pretty slick. Pretty slick. I do like this, guys. Obviously lots of big fields. Lots of flat land. I don't know what would work out best, playing multiplayer on this with friends, getting out here rocking and rolling, or just getting yourself a fleet of AI helpers to tackle these large fields. Ultimately, the choice is yours. Maybe you want to do it all yourself. That's entirely up to you. But the one thing that you do have going for you here on this map is you really do have the choice on what you want to do. The vehicles, you're not going to have to overpower anything. You're going to be able to rock and roll with all the basic equipment, whatever the horsepower requirements are for whatever implement you want to use. You're golden, you're money, you're ready, you're set to go. Not a lot for forestry, but there's enough to be dangerous with it. And if, like I said, if you want to go ahead and really do forestry, you could always cut down the trees and then replant them right away and just kind of recycle everything. That's probably going to be your best bet for that. But guys, you know what? This is a pretty neat map. You don't have to take my word for it. That's one thing you don't have to do. Go ahead, download it for yourself. Comment down below. Let me know what you think of the map. And just tell me just taking a look at this, what do you think that you're going to want to do? What's an option for you? Are you going to want to go big or go small? Obviously on this map, going small is not necessarily the... It's going to be hard. It's going to be very hard to go small here. Let's actually come down here really quick. We do have this. Is this a bunker silo or is this a bridge? Let's hop on down over here. I believe that is a bunker silo off to the side over here. Let's check that out really quick. Farmland. Okay, this is the last little plot of land that you can buy as kind of like farmland, if you will. Or I should say not farmland, but like a starting farm. Location right here. I knew there was one more. I could not find it right off the bat. And then I also forgot. That's on me, guys. That's on me. Oh, man. I tell you what, guys. If you're liking what you're hearing, if you're liking what you're seeing, smash that like button. Just break it off. Do it. Oh, man. If you really want to help the channel out, go ahead and subscribe. That's awfully cool of you. Go ahead if you want to see more map tours, mod tours, let's plays. Go ahead and turn that notification bell to on and have it set to all. That way you know when this and other great videos are going to be coming out. And share this video. Go ahead and share this with somebody who has a better memory than me. Oh man, I tell you what, guys, I've had fun. I've had a lot of fun here. I'm saying this because I want to say it, not because I have to. Thanks for stopping by.